So to answer you, Senator Gataya, those who have attempted the games that Governor Guyo is trying have failed, and their sins have followed them, even way after they left office.
Maybe before Dudley speaks, before we go to the main issue, Chair, my only concern is we had requested the IG to produce the governor of Isiolo or enforce attendance. I know under Article 245, the Inspector General of Police cannot be ordered, but we requested him. So my only concern before we go to the main issues on preparing a motion is where does it leave us now that the Inspector General of Police did not respond to our request to enforce the warrant of arrest against the governor of Isiolo and produce him before the committee. Number one. Number two, on the motion, I agree that we bring at the Senate a motion specifically to deal with the issues of Isiolo, including even possible stoppage of funds. I know it is a double-edged sword, but since there is an accountability chair, looking at Chapter 13 on principles of public finance, one of the tenets of holding a public finance is openness, transparency, and accountability. It's one of the key principles. Even when you look at devolution principles, it also talks about transparency and accountability on the issues of running of the country. Even when you look at Article 10 on national values and principles of good governance, rule of law, accountability, transparency, all those. And therefore, I think the governor of Isiolo has tested our patience and is undermining our constitutional obligation of Article 96. And I think out of 21 counties we were monitoring implementation status, I think we must prepare a special motion with specific recommendations, including declaring the governor of Isiolo unfit to all public office for violating the constitution. Because if you have to cite the issue of accountability, the issue of we must declare him unfit to all public office. We must ensure that the EACC follows up on the recommendations that we have made. Because as we have visited you, I think the three of us, we went to Isiolo and we saw how deplorable the situation is. The mortuary was smelling. The stadium has been left in desolate. The projects have stalled, including the county headquarters. And when we came up with the report, it didn't look very good. And even we visited a dispensary within Isiolo town and it was in pathetic situation. So I think to protect the people of Isiolo and to ensure that they get value for their taxes, it is not Governor Guyo's money or the Senate money. It is the money that belongs to the Kenyans who live and reside in Isiolo. I think the best is that we must come up with very serious consequences and use Isiolo as a county, as an example of a county or a governor that such habits should not be transferred to other counties. So, Chair, I think in my own opinion, let's say the IG, I wish the IG would have given us feedback so that we know where we are, because we had requested him to produce the governor, but the IG is not here, the governor is not here. I think the next, we don't need to do a recourse. Let us prepare a motion, take it to the House. Let's request the House on those 4 grounds. In fact, because Article 229, the OAG has the power to audit any public money. And I think as a country, Chair, in conclusion, if you don't want to account public money, why don't you just do the honorable thing and resign? Even in your own house, if you have a spouse, or a husband or a wife, they might ask you what you have done with the money. I don't think accountability is everywhere. Even going to heaven, you must account for our deeds that we have done on earth. So, Chair, I yield back the mic.
Okay. Well, Senator Dula, we can listen to Senator Gituku. Then, yeah, Senator Gituku.
Thank you very much, Chair. First and foremost, Chair, I want to thank you for welcoming us into this committee. And I believe that you are going to learn a lot from this committee and from your wisdom. Chair, I heard from your past presentation that you said that you had requested the IG to produce the governor into this committee. And then I heard you say that you also wanted to take this matter on the floor of the House. So my concern is, what do we do, Chair, if maybe we I was of an opinion that it could be better if we can first of all listen from the IG, the reason as to why he did not produce the governor to this committee, before maybe taking that matter on the floor of the House. Although, Chair, I need your indulgence on that, but that was my opinion, that it could be more better and easier if we can do that. And if it is not possible, Chair, you can also guide as well. Yes.
We must find a solution that does not appear politically instigated, because we never do politically motivated actions here. But we must deal with the impunity and the contempt of the power of Parliament and Article 125, and we must also deal with the dereliction of duty coming out of the obligations and Article 229. Senator Dulo.
Chair, first and foremost, I'm the senator elected for Isiolo County, and I'm a member of Public Accounts Committee. Now, what we are looking at is not political, decision or political witch hunts. We are here to looking at the money that we have allocated to Isiolo County. And the Constitution is very clear that that money has to be accounted for. And what we are looking at as a committee is accountability of the same through the laid down procedures, which is OAG's report. The governor of Isiolo has refused blatantly to appear before the committee. Chair, I'm from Isiolo. This morning, I had paid ICU bill of 230 deposit for a patient who could not get a bed in Meru and in any other government hospital around there. You've been as a committee to Isiolo where you requested to deal with the issues of mortuary. Today, that mortuary, 3 years down the line, nothing has been done. And we send money to Isiolo County. It's good also members put themselves in the shoe of Isiolo County. The word out there, Senate are toothless. Senate wants money to be given to them. There's nothing that will be done to that governor. Wacha waendelee kupiga kelele until 2027. And Isiolo people are saying, we have lost confidence in the Senate. We must actually deal with this matter. And I think, personally, I have seen a letter that was sent to IG, copied to this committee. I don't know whether, Chair, you have seen it. Which, according to me, if the legal counsel had looked at it, it has got nothing to do with the matter at hand right now. The order he obtained was for the Committee of Health then, when he refused to appear before the Committee of Health on mortuary situation. And that committee actually passed a resolution for his prosecution. He went and obtained a court order. That matter was dismissed. And if I may look at even the attachment, I don't know what kind of lawyers he was dealing with. If I look at the last paragraph of that particular order they have attached by Judge Nyaga, the last paragraph, 64, it says the court declines to issue conservatory orders in regard to the Section 19 of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act. It says, save for the above finding, no, I think there is something before this. Sorry, Chair. There is no evidence to support the affirmance that the first respondent issued the orders in question. Number two, that is part B, in the event that the same were issued, then they are illegal, as the second and third respondents are independent institution. The first respondent has power to summon the applicant, petitioner, and exercise its authority in the event of non-compliance. The court declines to issue conservatory. I'm sure they were looking for conservatory orders against this, yeah? The court declines to issue conservatory orders in regard to the Section 19 of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act. Save for the above finding, the application is dismissed. This is from the court, and I'm sure you have copies of the same. Members. Now, if somebody of a sound mind can attach that kind of order to a letter written to IG, I think we are not also illiterates, because they should have read in between the lines, Chairman. What I really want to know is, we've written to IG, he has not responded. And we actually treat that independent of accountability. Senate can summon, even as a house, we can summon IG if he has refused to arrest an individual for the purpose of accountability. But on a matter of accountability, Chair, I support you fully. We need accountability of the budget allocated to Isiolo County. I cannot see a civil servant sitting somewhere or a public servant saying, I am not going to Senate and I will not be taken anywhere. I mean, this is not your business. It's not your house. It's a public office. Yeah? So, Chair, we should not entertain such shenanigans as a committee, because this is impunity. It is unacceptable. There's a lot that is happening even on the ground as far as Isiolo is concerned. I came last night at 11. There's no service delivery in hospital at all. Offices are not working. Assembly was demolished. It's somewhere else. Yeah? Letters of appointment are actually dished out like sweets on the streets without procedures followed. And I'm sure OAG is here. We really need to have a special audit as far as Isiolo County is concerned, because a lot of money has gone into that county and there is nothing we show for as far as Isiolo people are concerned. Chair, I support you fully. This is impunity. We must actually hold those public institutions accountable. It's actually even disrespectful to the Senate when somebody says, I will not appear, and hakuna mali nitapelekwa. You know? If it is your house, yes. But that is a public office that somebody has been entrusted to sit in. So, with that, Chair, I support your position. Let IG come and tell us why he has not implemented the decision of the committee at an independent position. But as a committee, we must make a decision as far as the budget accountability is concerned. Chair, there were so many issues even in previous audit reports. The issues of advisors, the issues of redesignation. There are so many glaring issues as far as Isiolo is concerned. Nothing is happening. Yeah? In fact, let me sit here and say, some people in Isiolo are saying even the government is protecting the governor of Isiolo. That is the word out there. And the government is not supporting him. But that is a feeling of the people of Isiolo people. Yeah? So, Chair, I don't want to take a lot of time, but it's really painful as a leader representing these people. This is not politics. Accountability is constitutional mandate. It's constitutional right of Isiolo people to know where their money goes. If the hospital in Isiolo is not operating, people are taking their patients to private hospitals. What happens to those who don't, or they can't afford private hospitals? It's unacceptable. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Dulo. We feel your pain as the senator representing the people of Isiolo. We have witnessed part of that because this committee has visited Isiolo, and some of the things that we found not working We've been told by the Auditor General they are still not working. So as we conclude, maybe Vice Chair.
Chair, I think I want to agree with Senator Dulo and Senator Kituku on the issue of production of a witness by IG, which was our request. We can treat it separate from the main accountability motion. Maybe, Chair, we can just schedule for neatness and exit this issue is just to invite the IG among other stakeholders. I know we had scheduled other stakeholders, OAG, SEC, ODPP, COB. We can have IG alongside them so that we can dispense that matter at a different date. But on this one, specifically on Isiolo, we do it as an accountability matter. And I want to assure Senator Dula and the people of Isiolo, just like you, Chair, we don't have any interest in Isiolo. Ours is to ensure there is proper accountability of resources. And I think that is what is important for the Senate and all of us. And let us bring that motion. Let convince the House so that we can use Isiolo Governor as an example of not to do bad manners with devolution. I yield back, Chair.
Karibu, Senator Lelegwe. We are dealing with a matter that you're very familiar with. We issued arrest warrants in Samburu and ended up doing a citizen's arrest. So we are wondering whether we should do the same for Isiolo.
Thank you, Chair. Let me first go on record. My name is Lelego Tumbesi, Senator for Samburu. I apologize for coming late. Yes, Chair, I'm aware of this situation. And actually, the Samburu situation did not help us. But finally, we found a way, and the governor came before this committee. And I'm sure that I support and I agree with the committee on the proposed measures we are taking to bring this governor to account for the monies given to Isiolo County. I agree that these two counties are neighbors, and I don't know why both of them behave on the same way. Chair, I also agree that our auditors, and I will ask our auditors to do thorough work when they are doing these audits in these two counties, Samburu and Isiolo, because we feel as the senators of those counties, or the two counties, that the Office of Auditor General is actually doing little to expose misuse of monies and other procedures in those two county governments. Thank you, Chair.
We have another meeting which is equally important. In fact, I'm wondering why the scribes are still here. Yet we are going to release a report. I suspect it could be a ranking of counties. We hope that we won't get there and find Isiolo ranked number 1. And Samburu ranked number 2. And Nandi ranked number 3.
We will protest against that report, and I will lead the protest.
We will demonstrate in Kapsabet town against that report.
Yeah, so we need to go there and make sure that we make our comments. But I think it's a good thing. It's something that this committee had started working on. But I think the leadership fast-tracked it. As things stand, we are not very sure of the methodology. We are also not aware of the ranking, so it will be a surprise to us just like everybody else. So I want us to wind up so that we go there. But let me say this for the record. The Auditor General, we must commend you on your commitment, because every other time we have scheduled a meeting, you have been here. This could be the 3rd or the 4th time that you have come here and the client is not here. We might make a resolution to ask you to do a forensic audit of Isiolo. And that could be part of the resolution we are taking to the House, because it looks like they're trying to hide something. That's why they don't want to come here. If the chair of the COG has been before this committee, the whip of the COG has been before this committee, senior governors like Professor Nyong'o, Senator Governor James Orengo, etc. have been before this committee. What is so special about Isiolo that they do not want to be exposed to the instruments of oversight? So we might be recommending a forensic audit. We'll be asking the House to adopt that recommendation so that we can do a special, thorough forensic audit for purposes of further investigation and prosecution. But we commend you for your commitment that despite the bad manners of the county, you have always been here whenever we have required you to be here. We also want to commend the judiciary because, as has been read out by Senator Dulo, the courts have affirmed that the Senate has a legitimate authority to issue summons and to compel the appearance of witnesses. The courts have confirmed Article 125. The courts have reaffirmed that governors must be held accountable pursuant to Article 179(4) that defines them as chief executive officers of their entities. The courts have made it clear that the demand for accountability under Article 229 is non-negotiable and that governors cannot pass the